All right, welcome back. Episode 4 of my road to 1,000 users. I learned a lot this week, and I'm excited to share it. I got my first freelance user, which is exciting. That's really within my target audience, who the people that I really want to be solving a problem for. So I'm excited about that, and I want to explain how that happened because it involved me changing my perspective quite a bit on how I'm approaching this problem. So let's first take a look at the stats. So these are my stats. I put these pretty charts together. I've got 10 users, 8 pieces of feedback that I've iterated on. The mom test, just to reiterate what this is, are those meetings where I talk to somebody who has the problem that I'm trying to solve, and I just try to get at their pain points. So I've had 12 of those meetings, and same 50 Twitch followers. So some progress on the users and the mom test. Feedback and Twitch followers are the same from last week, and I'm tracking my progress over time, which is fun for me. I don't know if anybody else cares, but it's fun for me to look at this and see, like, all right, I got a user this week. That's cool, right? And then this I love because I have, these are of the 12 meetings that I've had, these are the countries, how those break down by country, which is awesome. I'm literally getting a global perspective on this problem. Uh, and I think all the continents are represented here, minus Asia. And I don't know if you consider Mexico South America or Central America. I guess that's questionable, but yeah, I'm getting a global perspective on this problem. So I'm super happy with this. So let me take a step back and explain how I got that freelancer as a user, right? Which again, the original problem that I was trying to solve is scope creep, clients asking for more than they're paying for, or rather it's two-sided, right? So freelancers also accept more work because they feel bad about saying no to their client, and then they wind up doing work that they're not paid for. So that was the problem initially. Now, since last week, I zoomed out of that and said, I think the problem is bigger than that. And, it's more of this lack of uniformity around how people scope work and deliver client work. And now a few assumptions that I realized that I had this week is that, well, number one, in order to have the problem of scope creep, you have to have clients. It sounds stupid and obvious, but I failed to realize that from the beginning, right? Like if you don't have clients, you're not going to have scope creep. So I zoomed out of what I thought is the approach and just shot kind of like, this tool that helps me. But what about the people that are just starting out? They don't have that problem, yeah, because they don't have any clients. Their biggest problems is, how do I reach clients at all? So with that, I started building again, which was awesome because I felt like my hands were tied when it came to building. So let me show you what I have. I have a list of prospects of people. I'm getting 5 to 10 RFPs, requests for proposals, that I need to respond to daily. And that's too much for me. I can't do that. I'm just one person. So what I did was I opened this up to freelancers to reach out to these clients. So if I click this, it'll give me a client, and it'll give me the information, the budget, and their contact information. So that's, even just that in itself, that kind of solves a problem for freelancers, because okay, at least I have a list to work with. And then once I get that person, using this, I have their attention now, right? So like they're engaged with the platform and then I can kind of like put little features and little things in there, and if they start clicking on things, be like, oh, this is interesting to them. Maybe I should go, take a little step further and find out why they're clicking on this stuff. Is that useful to them? So getting people, kind of hooking them with, just solving the smallest problem for them, getting them engaged and using the platform, and then I can build on my learning from that. Because one thing that I've realized from the conversations, having these conversations are great, don't get me wrong, but there's a big disparity between how people think they behave and what they actually do. And that's something that I think I read in the mom test, is that like people will tell you their idealized version of themselves and how they would behave in a certain situation, how they would want to behave. But when you get down to it, in the actual situation, they don't behave that way. And in this context, we're talking about like in the app, right? Yes, I would do these things, and I would say that for one reason or not, but it's different from actually seeing that what they click on and how they engage with the interface that you've presented to them. So it's hard to get that from a conversation. It's a good starting point, and you may be able to convince someone to just take a look at this platform, but there's something very valuable about seeing what they do when they're in the app. That's hard to do remotely. You know, you have to have them in there. Charging for this, I have not charged it, and I know I'm very conflicted with this. I don't know what the right answer is here. I feel, on the one hand, I feel like I'm not solving a big enough problem yet to be charging people for this. And on the other hand, there's this philosophy of like, you should just charge no matter what, because I don't know. I guess like you're seeing if it's valuable enough for people to actually give you money to do it. But I don't know. I don't feel right about that yet. I don't feel right. I feel like I have more learning to do before I can say, give me $10 a month for this product. Because it doesn't do much. It doesn't do much yet. It solves a small problem, but it doesn't solve a $10 a month problem. I guess. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm just being, shy about asking for money. I don't know. Now, I did ask one person in one of these mom tests. I did ask them, would you pay $10 a month to use this tool? And I got a flat out no. It doesn't. And she basically said, like, it doesn't. There's tools out there that do more than this, and they're freemium, they're free. And I'm like, that's a good point. Now, and I was actually kind of happy that she said no, because a lot of times you'll get a like wishy-washy answer, like, oh, sure, and then they just won't respond to you, and you don't really know why. Like, you don't have the chance to kind of explore that. Like, well, why no? Like, what is it about this? What would make this enough for you to say yes? I would pay $10 a month for this. Like, what, you can't get there because the conversation is it's done. So I think that was a good moment. Even though it's a hard no, it's an answer, it's a direction, and it kind of points you in that in the right path. So that was like, it was good. It's like, okay, I think I'm onto something, but there's more to do here. There's more to learn. Oh, fuck, I'm getting blurry. No, stop it. Goddamn camera. There we go. I'm back. Okay. BidRL. BidRL is a site, a goddamn hideous site. And apparently, there's not here. Let me show you the site. Let me show you this site. And I have a very specific reason. I'm not trying to be critical of their site, but I want to make a point. Going back to my point in week 1 or episode 1 about look and feel of your app. Okay, so this is BidRL, right? I think we can safely say that they did not put a lot of thought into their user experience. This is crazy looking. I guess they were going for like, the logo, and, they're trying to match that up here, but these are locations, I assume, in California. If we go to the login, look at this. Like, yeah, this is rough. This is rough to look at. But they have paying users. They have more than I do, right? They have more than most of us do who are trying to build a very pretty app. They have users. There's not a lot of information about this company out there, so I don't know what their revenues are, what their users are. I don't know that. But I think I'm confident enough in the source that told me about this site that they do have paying users. Someone is paying them to use this service, and there's a lot of transactions happening through this site. Now, why am I telling you this? Because it reinforces my philosophy of you should not be focused on your branding in the beginning. The only thing you should be concerned about is whether or not you're solving a problem for somebody. Now, this site clearly did not focus on their branding or their user experience or the look and feel of their site. They just literally put something out there and they were confident and solved the problem. My guess is that it probably started in like some Facebook group or something, and they were using an Excel spreadsheet, and this was the first iteration of an app that they came out with. That's my best guess. I don't know. Now, and they have users. They have paying users, which is more than most of us can say. So before you're quick to judge, like, oh, this site's ugly, I'm not going to use it. Yeah, but they have users. They've got more learning than you do, or than I do. So I was super impressed, and I think that really does reinforce my point. Don't worry so much about your user interface in the beginning. If you're solving a problem, then you are in good shape. And then the all of the pretty design things that you want to clean up after the fact, that can happen later. It doesn't have to happen first. If you're watching this on YouTube, come join the live stream every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/bubblehack. I fucked it up. Bubblehack. Twitch.tv/bubblehack. And also like the video if you like it. I've been getting some good comments here. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are you're watching this on YouTube. I'd rather have you on the Twitch stream because I want to see like people's reactions and what they're going through too, and I can kind of react to that stuff. And these may go a little bit longer if that's the case, but if you're watching this on YouTube, that's cool too. I appreciate that. And just, give me a subscribe. So thanks everybody. I'm out. I will see you next week. Later.